My Teacher's Secret Life by Stephen Krensky, illustrations by Joanne Adenolfi. I know everything about my new teacher, Mrs. Quirk. Her first name is Isabel. She bites her lip when she's thinking hard, and she has eyes in the back of her head in case we try anything funny. There she is, and there's her eyes in the back of her head. Once a week, Mrs. Quirk takes us to Miss Painter's art room. It's the only place in the school where we can make a mess on purpose. When Mrs. Quirk comes back, she doesn't always recognize us. And there they are, painting, being messy. Every day at 3 o'clock, Mrs. Quirk says goodbye to us. She doesn't have to leave, though, because she lives at the school with all the other teachers. There's all the teachers still at the school. I can imagine what happens after we're gone. First, Mr. Crumple, the custodian, leads a trash patrol through the halls. Litter, he says, is no one's friend. Then the gym teacher, Miss Whistle, makes everyone do exercises. Mrs. Quirk stands in the back because she has trouble touching her toes. There she is. All that running around makes the teachers hungry. The cafeteria staff cooks their meals, putting stuff together from lunchtime leftovers. Potato puff soup and macaroni bread show up a lot. While the teachers eat, Mr. Stern, the principal, watches closely to make sure everyone behaves. After dinner, the librarian, Mr. Peruse, reads stories aloud. Miss Painter covers her eyes during the scary parts. Nothing frightens Mrs. Quirk, but she makes faces if the story is too mushy. Later, the teachers return to their rooms. They all keep pajamas and inflatable mattresses in their bottom left chest drawer, the one that locks with a key. Sometimes the teachers have pillow fights in the hall. Mrs. Quirk swings her pillow like a baseball bat. The flying feathers usually make her sneeze. There they are, having a pillow fight in the hall. At bedtime, Mrs. Quirk washes her face, brushes her teeth, and sings a lullaby to our fish. Sometimes she makes shadow animals in the moonlight before she falls asleep. So there she is, ready for bed in her classroom. Lately, though, I have been wondering if I know Mrs. Quirk so well after all. One Saturday, I saw her in the supermarket filling up her cart. I wondered, what was she doing? There's always plenty of food in the cafeteria. So Mrs. Quirk is at the grocery store in this picture. Then, last Tuesday, I saw Mrs. Quirk again, trying on skates at the mall. She didn't look like a teacher one bit. I didn't know what she did with the skates. She never wears them in class or at recess. Maybe she races down the hall late at night. There she is with the skates on. Yesterday was my biggest surprise yet. I saw Mrs. Quirk in the park with a strange man and a girl. The girl looked like Mrs. Quirk, only younger. The strange man even put his arm around Mrs. Quirk. She didn't seem to mind. Mrs. Quirk is at the park with a man and a girl. I've been watching Mrs. Quirk extra careful ever since. There she is, spying on Mrs. Quirk. In class, she acts just the same. She still knows who pushed who first and who tracked in all the mud from the playground. And she still bites her lip while she's thinking. Mrs. Quirk must figure she has everyone fooled. But not me. I know Mrs. Quirk has a secret life. I just wonder when the other teachers will get suspicious. So today we're going to make some little disguises and things that can disguise you so that you can have a secret life like your teacher. So some of the quick things that we can put together. So this is something I printed off the internet. So I just went into Google and typed disguises and clicked on images, and I printed that off. So you can use that as one of your disguises. You can print off some sunglasses as well, so I did that as well. And if you don't have a printer, you can do some of the next ones. So we'll quickly run through how to make yourself a pair of pipe cleaner glasses for your disguise. So what you need is three pipe cleaners. And if you're small, you can use one pipe cleaner for the center. If your face is larger, you need 2 pipe cleaners. So if you were small, you would just wrap these into the center and twist them on and then shape your glasses how you want. But if your face is a little larger, you can just start with one for each side so that they're a little bigger. So that would be your first circle. And then we're just going to attach your next circle. So I'm going to attach a second piece, and I'm going to twist it around. So that's what we have so far. So then you can shape them like glasses. So my glasses have a little bit of a point out to the side. You can do that. And then if you have a smaller face, you can do shorter arms. So you can cut one of these in half. So you'll only need half the length to get back to your ears, which actually is good for most people's head. And if you have a bigger head, you might need a whole piece. So you just twist that onto the side, and then you can just slip them over your ear and measure how far back you need those to go onto your ear. And if it's not very far, you can trim it and use the other side. So then put the arms of your glasses up in the corners, and then you can slip those over your face. So you can adjust the side pieces so that they are right for your ears, and then you can trim them off. So that will be another disguise. So you can have a secret life like your teacher. And then another quick, very quick disguise that you can do is a little bunny face. So I have here just a bunny nose and whiskers. So all I've done quickly is taken a craft stick, a wide craft stick, and I took a pipe cleaner and I cut it into pieces, 3 pieces, and I glued those onto my sticks for whiskers, and then I put a puff ball in the front for the nose. And so then all you need to do is hold that up in front of your nose, and that can be your bunny disguise. So you can use any one of those to have a secret life like your teacher.